Garbage in, garbage out.
I swear we will get a longer intro at some point.
We better.
I know, because it seems like we just go garbage in, garbage out. Is everybody ready? You better be, because we got 3 seconds for that intro.
Right? Yeah.
I remember Conan O'Brien saying during one of his times, like, sometimes he'll hear the intro and that's when he, like, wipes his face or, does something or straightens up his suit and everything. And I'm like, wow, we've got like 3 seconds. He had like 25 between.
Yeah. Right. Must be rough for him.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll be Conan O'Brien rich someday.
Maybe. I mean, you got your people on TikTok thinking that we get, ad
revenue.
Revenue.
Yeah, all the ads we run, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the promotions we got.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag sponsored, not sponsored.
The big money that we're making.
I saw that when he first posted that, and I was like, does this guy actually think I get paid a single penny for this?
I mean,
you all are
it's
getting
the
paid
dream someday, right?
It's the dream to get paid. It's not the reality to get paid as of right now. No, so
I'd love to get a bunch of sponsorships. Like, people that do my shirts. Like,
I really want people to do the editing for me. That takes up so much time.
God, yes. I want an editor so bad.
Wait, you guys edit?
Well, yeah. See, when people actually stream, I know you know nothing about that.
Fuck you! I streamed yesterday or the other day.
The stuff up. I'm telling
you don't have to.
You should be streaming your Elder Scrolls content. Yes,
I should be doing lots of things, but
that would have been actually like a good video, like where you went through it all and then had to go back 2 hours. That would have been a
4 hours. 4 hours.
Right.
That was annoying, but it would have made for good content.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Well, I guess we got to do this again. Let's try it differently. Maybe this time we don't die, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm. I'll have you know that it did work the second time. Like I said, I started over a brand new character after putting in like 70 hours of gameplay with this other character.
You completely started a new character? You didn't even like roll back your saves?
I rolled back the saves as far as I could, which was the 4-hour save. And then instead of trying to continue with the main quest, which I knew was bugged, I decided I was going to go off and do some quests for the Fighters Guild, and one of those fucking bugged on me. So I'm just like, fuck this character completely, and started a new one.
Okay.
So
your whole
Goodbye,
play,
70 hours.
Your whole play was just cursed at that point.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, yeah. So I've started this new character. I beat the main quest with it. And now I am going through.
Did the main quest?
Yeah, and now I am going through and doing the Dark Brotherhood quest line with this character. I figure I'm going to do each guild separately, like one at a time, instead of getting quests from all of them. And
right, good call.
Actually,
and we jumped the gun here. We're on Spotify now, right? So we gotta introduce ourselves. Let's.
Okay, hi, I'm Cyclops. I'm the brains of the operation, which is kind of sad. Lost my left eye to cancer, and you know what? We don't make it sad here. It's more fun.
Yeah, I am Koimiya X, Dad by day, gamer by night, sometimes streamer, as they all like to fucking joke and prod me with. They call me the old man yelling at a cloud because I have some hot takes that nobody cares for.
All right, and I am Neodeath. I just came back to streaming about a month and a half ago. Joined up with these guys again, and we've been having a lot of fun doing this podcast. You can catch me on Twitch as Neo_Death, DETH. I'm also on YouTube and TikTok.
I love how you say it's DETH, but your background clearly says DEATH.
I know. That's the normal spelling of it, but everybody takes that now. So then I did it like DETH, like Megadeth spells it. and I'm like, oh, I can get that. And some of my other ones, like I think my PlayStation name already had that name, so it kind of falls into brand.
Oh, okay.
But yes, I like it to be spelled out the right way. I should, I guess, change that.
No death for you.
You get death, not death.
Actually,
No,
I
it's old, man.
I did have a question on Cormia. Where did your name come from?
Okay, so
Before we get into all the stuff, let's just go
yeah,
through
no,
names.
no,
Let's
no
do it that
problems,
way,
no
Jim.
problems.
I'll give you the
It
stick.
actually was it was actually a random name generator name. When I was making some character in an MMO, God only knows which one at this point because I play them all at some time. And it just actually Quaimia popped up as a random name, and I'm like, all right, let's roll with that. And then I just kind of used it for everything. And initially, it was just Quaimia. And when I started streaming, I was initially using the PS4 Twitch app. And so then on Twitch, my name was Koimiya PS4. So then when I got back into, or when I got really into it and started using the Twitch app on Xbox and all of that, I'm like, well, I can't have a separate channel like Koimiya Xbox, Koimiya PS4, Koimiya this, Koimiya that. And so I just rebranded it as Koimiya X, and then to have that across all platforms, on PSN, Xbox, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Facebook, Beam, everything under the sun, Koimiya X.
I mean, that works. It seems pretty awesome. I remember that's how I started too, was actually just through streaming through the PlayStation Twitch app. And I had no mic, no camera, nothing. It was just gameplay. I think that's how we all started. At least anybody that started like way back in the day. Now, not to make us all feel old.
It's just a different way of saying that you're a Cyclops, or was Cyclops already taken?
Cyclops was already taken.
Okay.
I tried doing like just regular Cyclops, but it was everywhere that I went to, it was like, this is already taken. And then eventually, well, actually, I should start before that. When I first started, I was just AMULER, and that's what I had gone by for quite a while because I hadn't really quite adopted the name Cyclops at that point, and that was what I used for getting into a lot of things when I was younger, like my work stuff. So I used that, and then I used that as an email, and I was like, okay, I might as well just keep going. And then I was like, this is boring. This doesn't really say anything about me. So that's when I went to Cyclops 1984, and it was actually another streamer that I know personally told me, he was like, hey, you shouldn't put the year of your birth on there, and didn't think much of it, but I was that for a long time, and then I switched it to Cyclops Muller, and it was like, wait, I just went from personal information to my actual last name, like more personal information. And then eventually I decided, I was like, what about that Cyclops guy? Because every time I was on TikTok, or every time I was on different Facebook pages that were promoting Twitch, I was always being known as, people are like, oh, that guy with one eye, or that Cyclops guy, So eventually I was just like, what about that /Cyclops /guy? That way it's like kind of reads a little better. So that's how I got that Cyclops guy, and that's what I'm sticking with.
Very nice. All right. So mine actually goes back from like when I was a teenager. I had it. I've always had like a weird thing with death, and I think it's because my mom was kind of always sick and always in the hospital. So I always had this weird thing. She was always like on the brink of it. So I've always had a fascination with it. So I always took like Grim Reaper, or like I even had a shirt that said Grim Reaper in training. So I took that, and I was like, well, I'm going to be the new death. So I'm Neo Death. That's where mine comes from. I'm going to take over the old death spot and I'm going to be the new death. So that's where mine's been. And I've used it for years. And it's always just been my name. I mean, until I went, to work in my mohawk, everybody at work knows me as a Rooster. And I thought about bringing them together, going like Neo Rooster or Death Rooster or something. And I'm like, I'll just keep those two separate. But that's where mine comes from.
See, I would have sworn that Neo came from the Matrix.
I mean, it was about out then, but it was more the I'm becoming the new death. That's where the Neo comes in.
Yeah,
right.
with my cancer stuff and all the different things that had happened to me throughout a kid, I've also been kind of fascinated with death too. And actually, it was a lot of the violence and those violent movies that cause a lot of death in the video games that actually helped get me through a lot of it too. So a lot of people are like, when I tell them what kind of entertainment I'm into, a lot of people are like, why are you into such dark entertainment? And it's like, you have no idea what kind of light that shined on me to help me get through a lot of it.
I mean, it's like gallows humor, right? Like if you're facing it, you make a joke of it and it helps you get through it, right? It becomes yours. You own it, not it owns you.
Mm-hmm.
So, for sure.
Yeah, because I just remember like I'd watched something super violent. I remember watching Blade and my mom going like, and it was specifically at the scene where Deacon Frost sees Blade in the middle of the day and he's like, sunblock. Why do I care? They're just cattle. He's like, I offer you an easy way out and you spit it right back in my fucking face. And then he like throws that woman into traffic, Blade saves her. And my mom's like, why are you watching this? And it's like, you wouldn't get it. I almost feel like the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, like you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't. Koimiya looks really, really focused on something right now.
He's
trying to figure something out on my.
Oh, he's screwing with settings again.
Yeah. Always.
Speaking of which, did you watch the VOD from the GTA special? Did you watch it all?
Yes, I did.
Wow, I watched it all.
Yes, I did.
And what did you think?
It was something.
I mean, what are your thoughts on it since you weren't there to join us?
So, I mean, I'm going to probably play the game at some point. I'm not absolutely, like, oh my God, Grand Theft Auto is the greatest thing since sliced bread, like my kids are with Minecraft. And I was impressed when, they said flat out that this was a base PS5 capture and that, that just makes you go, okay, well, I can't wait to see this fucker on the PS5 Pro. I was impressed with the fact that they said that it was pretty, like same amounts gameplay and same amount cutscene in that trailer. Because then I'm sitting there going, where's the fucking gameplay?
Yeah, usually they have, like I said, they have the like thing underneath. This is actual gameplay or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or they market it as gameplay trailer.
Right.
Usually it still says like this is all captured on whatever it tells you, but yeah,
well, I did say if you look in the trailer in the small print at the bottom, it does say game captured on or all captured on in game or something like or on PS5. Yeah.
I saw PS5, but I didn't see.
That's what I was thinking. The PS5.
Okay.
So I mean, I'll definitely play it. It looks awesome. I'll give it that. I still want it to release, or I still want Half-Life 3 to release the same day, just for hilarity.
Damn well that's not going to happen. Yeah, like I said, that would be like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter releasing on the same day as Twilight. Somebody would die.
Yeah.
Probably one of the Twihards.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. We'd all watch it unfold online. But
Right.
no, but actually, it's kind of interesting that that trailer was actually captured with 30 frames per second, and even like the PC crowd that is like, oh, PC Master Race, it's like even they're sitting there going like, wait, that did what? It looked that good.
That's just it. That was a base PS5, which as an article I was reading earlier today stated, and I was like, oh my god, they're right. That by the time GTA 6 launches, the PS5 will already be 5.5 years old.
Oh.
and that's running on a base PS5, and so I'm impressed with what Rockstar's been able to do.
Right.
And so my interest has gone up since that trailer. I will give it that.
Yeah, like I was telling Neodeath, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, there's not really a lot of action in this trailer. I mean, obviously there was action, but not a ton of it. But
Some people thought that one of the gameplay trailers was the part where he's like entering his house. They think that part where like the door opens is like a shift from cutscene to gameplay. Like when the dude, of course I can't think of names or shit like that, but when he first like climbs down off the roof and enters the house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's
right here.
Yeah, they think that's this part here. Which if you also that guy a lot, if you notice, that's Stephen Root, like the voice actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. You can totally tell that's Stephen Root.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the beads of sweat on him. Like you're telling me this is
sweaty guys, do you?
I'm just about to say this is what he likes. He really likes that sweat on the guys.
Well, no, but the sweat, like just the beads of sweat are like, that just makes it more realistic. And then they said that these, like even the reflection in the glasses, like this is all ray tracing that makes it more realistic. It's not just kind of your standard. It's not just
because Xbox posted this trailer on their Facebook page, and the thing that cracked me up was like this here. Okay, so they said they think that this right here is a transition that then transitions into a gameplay.
So this is gameplay him driving.
Well, not necessarily, but I mean that might be in first person view.
This seems like something for the trailer,
or like that right there where you're kind of behind him, maybe.
Yeah, and then that walks like it goes from game trailer to actual gameplay. But I was laughing because Xbox posted this trailer, and I'm like, oh, the irony of posting a trailer that says captured on PS5. But then the other thing that cracked me up was like all these people in the comments that are like, oh, I just got an Xbox Series S just for this and da da da. I'm like, is the S going to actually be able to run this fucking thing? Because I mean, it couldn't do Baldur's Gate 3 properly. And I have a coworker, she had the Series S, I think it was, and she couldn't even play Marvel Rivals on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wouldn't even download to it because it wasn't strong enough, for lack of better words, to play Marvel Rivals.
Okay.
So I'm like, all these people are like, I mean, maybe they'll be able to stream it through Game Pass and all that. Now, having said that, I'm not going to be like you assholes think and scream, oh my God, she's got a bikini. So, fuck you, and fuck your little thing. I know you guys were waiting for my reaction for that.
Yes, we were.
But
okay, right here. This is where I'm wondering. This looks a lot like Phil from Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
I think it's already been confirmed that it is.
But the thing is, in Vice City, he was missing his arm. Here, he's clearly got both arms.
It could be a prosthetic.
You think that's where they're going with that?
It could be an old trailer too, like an old commercial.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This is before he lost his hand.
So.
Because I mean, it looks like if you see it, he's standing in front of ammunition. See, that's ammunition. But in the first one, wasn't it called like Phil's Guns and Ammo or something?
I have no idea.
I think doesn't he when it zooms out? Oh, right here, also right there. If you look right next to the TV, there's a mock-up of a PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the controller on the table too.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
you know, you also have to wonder, where does this where does this take place canonically in the universe?
Yeah, we
Well, I
don't know when
mean,
it is. We know it's Vice City, but I think they said it's Vice City, but like present day.
That's what I thought too, because the other Vice City was in the 80s. And I
Right.
just got to say, look at the realistic beer bubbles here. It's like, this actually looks like something I want to drink right now.
I mean, everything in it looks just
Yeah.
phenomenal.
No, it looks like
attention
a
to
great game.
detail.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, so there's my thoughts on it. I'm sorry I couldn't make your little brouhaha, but
Hey, we
How
invited
dare
you.
you have to sleep?
I had to work.
How dare you have real life commitments?
There's my Amazon. There's all my equipment.
Oh, they just showed up.
I've
Yeah, they're just now dropping it off.
nice.
Yep. Okay. Is this where they do capture on PS5? They must do it at the end.
Yeah,
Yep.
right there.
Okay.
Captured on
Captured on
PS5.
PS5. And then they have Xbox X and S right next to it. So yes,
and in the little like legal bullshit on the bottom, I don't see where it says gameplay and cutscene.
No, they said that later because
I know they did, but usually, like I said, because a lot of people remember there was a huge thing at one of the E3s because they kept showing these new games that were coming out, and they were just the it was just like the demos videos, and everybody thought that was gameplay, and they were getting tricked and then buying these games and going, the graphics on this is shit from what you just showed us.
and a watchdog.
So that's why they had to put that in there.
Puddles, really? You had to make the Spider-Man reference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just shrank the puddle because it actually would make more sense to have a smaller puddle right over there. And it was like, oh, it's a graphical downgrade. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Puddlegate, I think that became known as.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Why does everything have to have the word gate at the end of it now? Is that because of Watergate?
Because of Watergate.
Yeah.
It was a huge scandal, so everybody tries to use it.
People.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, but yeah, so obviously, it sounds like Koimiya, you're in for the game. You want to play it, but you're not necessarily going to be like lining up to download it.
Is it going to be a day one buy for you?
I don't know yet. I mean, I'll most likely pre-order it, but it's not like I have a little time to decide yet.
Nope, it's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Rockstar.
but yeah, I mean, I've got other things to play until then, and I'm sure there's going to be other things that come out. I mean, obviously, Borderlands 4.
Are you actually going to stream it, or is it going to be another one you just play by yourself?
Yes.
The short answer is yes.
We'll just say yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely going to be a day one purchase for me. My only question is, do I want to download it or do I want to buy the physical copy? I'm thinking the physical copy, at least for me. I am more of a
physical copies.
Yeah, I went to Best Buy the other day, and I know this is kind of jumping to a different game, but I saw a PS5 version of Alan Wake 2, and then I saw a PS5 version of what was that other one? Life is Strange Double Exposure that just came out recently. And I asked the clerk, I was like, okay, it's only $30 down from 50. Do you have Double Exposure for Xbox? Because I want to keep playing it on the Xbox like I have with the other games. And he was like, we don't really have a whole lot of Xbox games anymore. And I was like, but do you have it? Like, can you get this?
They don't have a lot of physical media at all.
Yeah, when I worked at Best Buy, at least the first time, way back in the early 2000s, our entire center of the store was filled with CDs. And then the back of the store was all DVDs, and the front of the store was like almost all video games. And now it's like, it is a completely different store.
Correct. Now they're off in the corner, and now they have toys there. They're selling Lego. I actually saw some decent deals on Lego. I was like, What the fuck? I never thought I'd go to Best Buy for a deal on Lego.
Yep. And I see Mike Banky. Imagine the Easter eggs and lore they're going to hide in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
I'd be more surprised if they didn't, you know.
Right. Right.
So, but yeah, I know another game that Koimiya was really excited about was the new Tony Hawk 3 and 4 games that were coming out. Oh, I see Mike Banky jumped in here. We're old school. Digital is the way to control content and ownership.
I mean, it's just easier. I don't have to wait for my content to show up on day one. That's the thing that started getting me into it, because I would pre-order physical media and they would say it would get here. And sometimes it would, like on the day, or sometimes you would get it, you'd get lucky and you'd get it early, right? From Best Buy or wherever. And then they stopped doing that because people were getting it early. And now they ship like on that day, so you're not going to get it till like the next day or the day after. And I'm like, well, fuck, what's the point? I want to play it right fuck now.
I thought that's why they put some locks on it, where like if you downloaded it, it would not unlock onto the system to play until like midnight the day that it releases.
For digital or physical?
I thought that was for physical. They were starting to do that, but maybe that was like too much, or maybe like that was too much for every single game.
I wouldn't know. Like I said, when I got my PS5, I just went all digital. I'm like, I'm done with physical media because I'm just buying it online anyways.
No, understandable. I know Ubisoft actually had said that gamers need to get used to not owning their games, because if you download it, technically they can shut that server down anytime.
Right. I mean, even physical stuff, like you might not get your updates or whatever.
Yeah. Go ahead, Koimiya.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, they can shut it down at any time. Look at the PT demo. You know, that's down. You know, and what else? I mean, Concord. You know, Concord is completely.
I mean, I wouldn't update my PS4 for the longest time because I wanted to still play that PT demo.
Yeah,
and I still have it.
Yep, it taunts me every now and then too. When I'm scrolling through my list of games, going,
like,
man,
I want to play this.
I wish they would have gone forward with that game.
See, that's where I thought your Koimiya name came from. Was like you were just kind of mocking Konami. Like, you're Konami, I'm Koimiya.
Nope.
And I stand with Kojima. You know.
Nope.
You got Mike in here again. I got Mass Effect Legendary Edition day one before release of the digital. Everyone was asking me questions, but I brought it to display and play the digital edition. Nice.
Yeah, you know, Mass Effect I heard has another game, but I'll bet that's like 3 or 4 years from from release.
Oh, easily.
When was the last one? No. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Andromeda was a while ago, but you know, everybody had to get the bad taste of that out of their mouth, and so they wanted to wait a while so people kind of forgot about it, and that's why they released the trilogy remaster. You know, so
Andromeda might have been the one I tried to play. It's just not my type of RPGs.
I never finished Andromeda. The main trilogy, those were fantastic. Mass Effect 2 is one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. But
wow, that's pretty up there then.
Yeah. Near Automata. Near Automata is my number one though. If you haven't played that, oh god, yes, still.
Yeah, I know Tynan Vilmos from Twitch. He actually says Nier is one of his favorite games. I have not played it, but he keeps telling me it's an absolute must play. Kind of like you were doing with.
I'm sure I played a little bit of it.
Yeah,
I might have even bought it off of GameFly when I used to get physical media. That's usually how I would get it. Was through GameFly, just rent it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great system, I thought.
Yeah, I think they're still around.
Yeah, they are. They just upped their prices. I just saw.
And Mike said the jetpack jump took time to master, not being able to jump for over a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then okay, yeah, he came back here. He said Nier has an anime too, but I haven't played or watched it.
Well,
I've
Nier's
heard-
actually a spin-off of an older series called Drakengard, and which they were fantastic games as well, but we're talking like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 tops.
Mhm.
And then Nier came out, and then Automata, though, that one, oof. You got to play it.
Yep, and then a game I know, Koimiya, you've talked about for a while here is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, saying that was one of the games you were looking forward to, and it was saying that Bam Margera is actually coming back. I know he was losing a lot of deals for a while because of his addictions and a lot of his behavior, but it looks like he's clean now, and they are getting him back for the new Pro Skater 3 and 4 remaster.
Yeah, I heard that Tony himself actually had something to do with that, and basically was like, "No, you're putting his ass in the game."
Oh, really?
And, yeah,
Nice.
because initially they said that he wasn't in it, and
Right.
but yeah. So I mean, that makes me happy. I'm still mad that they took out the main meat and potatoes of Tony Hawk 4, which was like the open world questing and shit like that, and they put it more in line with 1 through 3, where you just go on the 2-minute runs and try to get the high score this time, and then the next time spell out the word skate, and the next time get the hidden tapes and all of that crap. So that kind of irked me, but I'll still probably play it. I know it's going to be on Game Pass, so I'll just play it through that and not spend my money on it. But
yeah, and
I mean,
go ahead.
I was going to say, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see Bam back for sure. So
Well, didn't you say he was like one of the main characters? Like he took you through the story in some way?
that was kind of in 4. He was one of the main NPC characters. That didn't really take off till they started doing the Tony Hawk Underground. Which one of my favorite things actually was, I think it was actually at the beginning of Underground 1. The first NPC that you meet that starts you on the basic stuff is Jason Lee. Which, because a lot of people don't realize that Jason Lee, it was actually a professional skateboarder when he was younger.
Right, that's how he started, and then
that's how he started. Yeah, and so the fact that he was in it, but so I know a lot of people are claiming they want an Underground remaster or remake. Let's just see how well 3 and 4 does first before they start moving on to Thug.
Right, and so as you were saying, you were thinking that that Tony Hawk actually said you're putting his ass in the game. Well, yeah, it says here why Majera wasn't included at first hasn't been revealed yet, and I'm thinking it's because of his drug addictions and everything like that, and his behavior and a lot of things.
I'm sure that he got a what was it, a restraining order basically from the entire set of Jackass, and so.
And didn't he sue Johnny Knoxville for that?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, he did claim that Tony Hawk himself lobbied for Majera to be added to the game. Bagley added that there was no update character model for Majera, so he was flown up to developer Iron Galaxy Studios to have his body and face scanned, footage of which you can see in the video below. And then it'll, of course, it has to play the stupid ad here. While
we're waiting for the ad here, Mike comes back and asks, "Did you get the trophy for looking up her skirt?" He's talking about Nier there. Mike, to answer your question, yes, because I got the platinum trophy. So in order to do that, you would have to do that.
He had to do it. They wouldn't let him not do it.
He had to.
To get the platinum, yeah, I had to. So.
But yeah, and here you can actually see he's skating into the office. He looks a
He's
lot
looking.
different.
He's
from
looking a
Jackass.
lot better. He's looking a
Yeah.
lot better, though. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
he's definitely lost a lot of the weight that he had gained, and so
My take on him is I never liked him anyways from like the 90s for when he was on MTV where he had his own show and he would like do the stupid shit with his parents and stuff.
yeah.
And like I hated that show, so I always had a bad taste in my mouth for the guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I liked him as part of Jackass, but when it came to Viva La Bam, I wasn't a fan of just him. Like when he's part of an ensemble, that's cool. But then I have other people to focus on too.
Well, did you see any of his stuff when he was with CKY? The CKY videos?
Oh, the videos that got him noticed by Jackass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen
CKY. They were good, and I also like the band CKY. So which Bam's brother is in. So
Viva La Bam was that show.
Yep.
Hey, Dark Flame.
Hello.
Dark, how are you?
Yep, in legal issues, it was probably easier to just exclude him and add him later after the legal battle. That does make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, because didn't Marvel do something similar with Jonathan Majors? Because they were basically saying they weren't going to move forward with Kane until his trial against his girlfriend. And then once it came out that he had done that, they were like, yep, you're out. And if they had said, oh, no, he didn't do that, they'd have been like, yep, you're still in.
Right. Well, and they're still kind of, I think, talking to him because they want to do like a little thing to close off the character or whatever in the next Doom and Secret Wars, I believe. But I haven't heard officially.
Dark Flame says, I used to have a massive crush on him. And if I look at him now, puke. A lot of us were the same way, especially for the guys. We were the same way with Lindsay.
You had a crush on Bam?
No, I didn't have a crush on Bam. No, I was like with Lindsay Lohan. Like a lot of us growing up in the 90s, we were like, oh God, she is so hot. Now we're just like, oh God, what the fuck happened?
I mean, that's just age, though. You look at yourselves as you get older, you just put on more weight. That's for sure.
Said, I'm surprised that Baldur's Gate didn't have a trophy for nudity. I played 200 hours before I figured out how the outfits tab.
Nice.
It's such a great game. The funniest thing is I love Baldur's Gate 3. I'm having a blast playing it, and I still haven't even finished the first chapter yet.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's 3 chapters, and I still haven't even finished the first chapter yet. I've just been running around just doing random shit in it, but it's such a great game.
And Dark Flame comes in. She says, hi, been lurking a bit. Was on my way home. Well,
thank you for lurking. We appreciate it.
Yep,
for sure.
And welcome home. And if you want to hear the very beginning of the show, you can always check it out on Spotify after we upload it.
And also YouTube, Beam,
Beam, Twitch,
Facebook, Kick, Twitch.
You can't escape us.
We are everywhere.
We are Legion.
Trust me, I've tried.
It's
go ahead.
Yeah, just for a little quick thing here. Because I know you had asked me the other day why I wasn't streaming on Twitch anymore. I am still doing these shows on my Twitch feed. But that's mainly more, to support you guys than that, get you out there. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing my personal streams when I do those on Twitch anymore. But yeah,
once a month he decided
my once a month streams. Hey, I did, like I said, I did a couple days ago.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I said it said Kick, and I'm like, oh, I'll go to Twitch because I had that already downloaded. I'm like, he's not on. What the fuck? No. I thought I was already your follower on there, and it's like follow to type, and I'm like, okay, follow 60 minutes to type. Okay,
yeah. I mainly I did that, like I said, to battle the bots.
I know, I get the bots, but 60 minutes, Jesus,
that was the shortest amount of time I think I could put it.
Really?
I don't know.
Twitch, you can do it to like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, I think, because that's how I
No,
used
they
to do
have
it that way too.
so yeah, no, 6 minutes is the shortest available. I'm looking right now, unless I do a custom.
Okay.
So, but I just went in there and clicked 1 hour and then moved on, you know. So,
Right.
but
You're
yeah,
not talking to me.
but
Yeah, you were talking, and I'm like, I can't respond.
yeah, well, I'd completely forgotten that I had turned that on. So I was like, okay, look at this asshole. He follows me and then leaves. You know, so, but
No, I just wanted to say about Bam. Didn't a lot of his legal issues start when start after Ryan died?
it was around the
Like,
same time. It was around the same time. I mean, did you hear what all Ryan was doing that night before the accident? I mean, Jesus Christ, all that alcohol alone.
yeah, I heard it was like like the equivalent to like 6 bottles of beer and like 5 shots or something like that. And it's like, dude,
yeah, he was. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I remember hearing all about that, but I was just like, that seems to be the night that all that stuff happened for Bam. I mean, he'd already always had some issues here and there, but it seemed like that was the tipping point.
Right.
Oh,
So,
that's a good question. Neo, where's your silly hat?
yeah,
I do have another one that can be fun. It's not really a hat-ish, but I'll be right back.
he got like he got chocolate wasted.
So, maybe we should leave this to the viewers. We need to make a longer intro for our show because Beam takes about 10 seconds to upload. So we were thinking, Cyclops found this program that you can do AI music. And we were thinking what we would do is each one of us would come up with a different style theme song and then either have pick one for our show or rotate them every week, have a different one. Or maybe we should have all three and then let you guys have a poll on which one's the best intro.
Yeah, that could work. What in God's name is he wearing? Hi, Batman.
It's something. I still like the mohawk. That's the best part
still
right
got the
there.
mohawk in it. So I technically got 3 up here.
Imagine Batman fighting crime with a mask and a mohawk like that.
If he punk Batman.
All right, just so they can get a better
like the Spider-Man they got where he's got a mohawk, but it's like the spikes.
Yeah. All right, just so they can get a better look at it. Hold on 1 second here.
Ta-da!
Okay, that is great. Now, what is it? That's isn't that Punk Spider-Man? That's not Peter Parker, but that's
no, it's the British one. It's one of the British guys.
Yeah. Dark Flame says, "Haha, amazing."
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna wear this one the whole show like you almost did with the Harley Quinn one?
I don't know. Oh yeah.
And Batman by Gaslight was more steep punk. Yeah, I remember. Did you guys ever see that? Gotham by Gaslight?
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that's one of their animated shows that they did. Oh, sorry.
Well, see, did you notice that on the new logo, the one skull has a mohawk?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the one's got an eye patch.
Mm-hmm. So if you guys see the new logo here, I can try and put this up. But yeah, if you guys see the new logo, it's in the background here. We got, hey, does yours have a hat on? I forget.
No,
what is your defining character in all this?
Well, that's just it. I was trying to give my skull because there's the old logo.
Yeah.
That you have up right now. But I was trying to give my skull a gray beard.
Wait a minute. See it.
The only other thing I could think of is
when you take us off like that, it mutes our mics automatically.
Okay.
But
see if you can do like a screen.
Just do it as a present because you have the file downloaded, don't you?
Image. Just do image file.
Yeah. Do a present image file.
Yep. Put it on now. Just says it's gotta take a second here. Okay.
Yeah, there it is. There's the new logo. Yeah, so I've been trying to give this one in the middle here a gray beard for my defining, because I didn't want to do a hat because I figured that would cover up too much of the Cyclops eye patch skull.
Why is your eye black and one red?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's
I
like
don't
you're
know.
missing one eye too.
I don't know. Again, this is all AI generated. I literally took our old logo, threw it in there, and said tweak it so it has this, add a third skull. So I'm still learning AI messing around.
I like the I bring that back up. I was gonna say something. I like how the Nintendo controller on the left, it like has a blue like
right
button that's huge. It like put on like
yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
So
when was this ever a thing?
And I don't know why. I don't know why the words in and out are like different sized. But like I said, I've just been messing with the what is it,
the
Grok?
other thing I was trying to figure out, what is going on with the behind the around the can? Like, what are those things coming down on that side?
I don't know. Again, I don't know why. I don't know why the Cyclops hoodie is like
tripled,
spiraled there. Yeah, tripled, and
he's very cold. Okay.
Okay. Well, see, here it is. This actually represents something that's fun but doesn't make sense, just like our show.
Yeah. So yeah.
Still cool,
but yeah, I'm still like I said, I'm learning the ins and outs of what you need to type in for prompts on Grok, but I'll keep tweaking it and see if I can't come up with it yet.
Yep.
Like I said, I'll give my guy a hat or a gray beard or something.
I don't know if like what you're using, but I've done the chat GTP when I was doing the action figure thing. Like when you put it in the description and everything, it'll give you one picture, and then if you just repeat the exact same thing, it gives you a totally different picture. It's not like
they can do that.
Just
but,
do little tweaks.
The nice thing with Grok, what I'm using, which is through Twitter, like after it generates an image, you can click on that image and then it'll say edit this image, and you could say yes, and then you can type what you want in it, and it'll keep the same image just with new tweaks.
Edit out the things you want.
Yeah. So like I tried to say, like I was tweaking, like I said, I want to give the middle skull a gray beard, and I said, give the second skull a gray beard. Well, it ended up giving all three of us gray beards. And so I'm like, I'm learning how to use it.
Yeah, and I saw Neodeath actually put up a pretty awesome thing on I think it was on TikTok that I first saw it. Like a new where like you
background.
Yeah. And I remember asking him, he's like, I use this for Canva, and it's like, okay, I've been messing around with the free Canva stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to pay.
You have to go with the paid Canva. You can take a picture. Like I did some promos in front of my camera of me holding stuff and whatnot, and then you can take out the background. So that's all I did was take out the background.
Okay.
Is that stuff from what is it, Midnight Walk or whatever?
Like here.
Your background there?
Yeah, this is the promo that I did.
Yeah.
It's I just put myself in the middle over the guy, and it made it look cool because it looks like everybody's trying to grab me and whatnot.
Yeah. How is that game?
And you look happy that everyone's trying to grab you.
Yes. Bring it to me. I'm enjoying the game. I love how it looks and the whole atmosphere of it and everything. Like it's a banger. I will definitely be playing more of it.
Okay.
So I've heard, or at least from the way that it looks too, it looks a lot like Lost in Random. Is it
kind of like
it gives me that feels, yeah.
Also like Alice McGee's Alice, or American McGee's Alice, my bad. And then also like some Tim Burton feels into it also. Like all that creepy stuff.
I was gonna say it's all claymation, isn't it?
Yes. Claymation, nice. And they use some cardboard also, but yeah.
Okay.
It's so cool.
Just no Lord in his jawline, Overlord.
No, none of those.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that reference.
But yeah, so
gotcha.
So yeah, because I was gonna say that really reminded me of Lost in Random, because that was like more of the family friendly kind of Tim Burton kind of gothic kind of horror.
Mhm.
And
I'm
I
still
saw it
waiting
had
for
the
the
E
sequel.
rating for. Yeah,
It
yo,
comes
I'm
out
looking forward to
this
that.
year, right?
Yeah,
I
well,
thought it did.
It's supposed to come out later this year, but I don't think they have an official date pinned
Okay.
down. But yeah, that really looks great. There's no other way to do this other than. So, Koinonia, you are not excited about Mafia anymore. What the H, dude?
Well, I never really was to begin with, so you know,
What's the
but,
icing on the cake?
that it isn't a open world game like the other Mafia games, and it's literally they've come out and said it's going to be a linear story.
Why?
Well,
Like, exactly. Why?
here, 65% of PS5 players are actually glad Mafia isn't the old country isn't open world.
Well,
A
those
lot of them are.
65% are wrong.
Well, the thing is, it's like not every game has to be overstuffed to the gills to be great,
No,
you know. And
it
it's
doesn't.
they're
But
trying to go
if
more towards. It
if
looks
you
like they're
have
trying to go, huh?
if you have 3 fucking games in the series and this is a prequel to all of them, why wouldn't you?
Well, from what I'm understanding is they basically didn't want to do that because they wanted it to be more structured, more focused, and getting a great story out there. A great story, good graphics, good gameplay, and they weren't wanting to overstuff it to the gills. My thought is that they didn't want to be compared too much to Grand Theft Auto, which at that time was expected to come out this year.
That's
Right,
exactly
but
what it is they wanted
they've
to
always been compared to that, haven't they?
yeah, that too, but they wanted a bite-sized game that you could complete probably in a weekend so that they can get the sales and not have to worry about losing out to GTA. And so they're gonna go, oh, we'll make this short game for you.
Yeah, I
On
don't, how on the rails is it? Is my question though.
on the plus side, though, not having all that stuff in there is now making it that the game is not going to be $70. It's going to be $50.
I mean, at least they're doing that. They realize that they're not giving you all this, so they're not going to charge you the full price because they sure as hell could have, right?
Oh,
I would
easily.
think so. Yeah.
So, I mean, at least they understand that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the game looks good.
Mm.
I'm like, it's Mafia. You need to have open world.
Did the original Mafia games have open world, though?
I
I know 3 did. And it
pretty
was more
sure-
like semi-open world, but it was not
no
fully.
3 was pretty open world.
I mean,
Oh god, the
I
fucking
can't-
racing in the first Mafia. Oh, if this handles anything like the first Mafia game,
As in, yes, it's
never-
going to be good, or as in, oh dear God, Christ, no.
Yeah.
yeah, that.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. It's like,
I mean, I
I'm
don't
getting
think
Red Dead vibes. Yeah.
Right.
As we're just looking at this, it's like, I remember seeing this trailer and I'm still kind of like, wow, this looks great. I mean, this is one that I think it's going to be great to just, like you said, to play in a weekend or play over the course of 1 week. But, what have Mafia games ever been ones that you really wanted to go back to over and over and over and over and over again?
No.
Right.
So, and a lot of people seem to be really happy about that. I mean, of course, these articles I say are always biased because it's like I can look at it
where
and
they
say
get this percentage. If they polled like 3 people, yeah, you get, and 2 people said they're glad for that, and 1 didn't. Like, yeah, there's your.
They probably only posted the poll like on their website. It's like, and
Usually.
I mean, I don't go to that website often.
So you are part of the 19% here. Just 19% said that they want a sandbox, with the remaining 18% satisfied either way. They swing both ways.
I want it. I want sandbox in my Mafia.
He wants it his way.
I'm gonna yell at that cloud.
You know, anytime I hear "I Want It That Way" now by the Backstreet Boys, I always hear the parody, which was done by God, what was their name? The Merkins on YouTube. They where they have like Freddie and Jason,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
they're like, "I'll set you on fire with gas and a lighter." Yes. Oh man, I can't hear
got
any.
Mike here.
All right. Yep. Okay. Mafia 1, 2, and 3, in my opinion, are too tedious. The game is great for serious story people, but it was too much for casual players. Great game, just a niche game, heavy RPG, and all the elements. See, and that was the thing. I always thought it was I always loved the games, but I always thought they were trying too hard to be Grand Theft Auto in a different setting.
He also says, I love RPG games, but 1930s to 1950s Mafia game, not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the problem with those type of games. You're always going to compare it to GTA. Same thing with like when Watch Dogs came out. I'm like, oh, it's just a GTA, but you can hack the cameras or whatever, or the lights. I mean, it was fun. I never played the second one because
I've got 2 words for you. Sleeping Dogs.
Oh my god, Sleeping Dogs is fucking amazing. I love Sleeping Dogs. It might be a Grand Theft Auto clone, but screw you, I don't care. It's one of those that actually works.
Isn't that technically the other?
Fantastic.
What's the other name it goes by?
Well, it was a true crime game when it first came out, when it was first in development.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, what was funny is
that's not the one I'm thinking of. Then maybe that's not like a ninja or like a like a dragon. Is that the same thing?
Oh, Yakuza?
Yeah.
Yakuza.
No, that's a different series.
That's a different game? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that
Sleeping
they
Dogs
rebranded it as that. Okay.
No, Yakuza, Like a Dragon was the Yakuza series, which those games are fucking phenomenal if you haven't played them. But Sleeping Dogs, like Cyclops said, it was originally True Crimes. Like they had True Crime Streets of LA or something like that. And
yeah, they had 2 of them. There were Streets of LA, which had Mariska Hargitay from the Law and Order SVU series, and then they had New York City, which had Snoop Dogg and Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, and those games were fantastic. And then they changed the name to Sleeping Dogs, and that originally came out when GTA 4 first came out? Like they were released at the same time, and
Roughly.
So of course nobody played Sleeping Dogs, which is a big crime. It's
good.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's a fantastic game, and if you haven't played it and you got some time to kill now since GTA 6 isn't coming out until next year.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
I highly recommend playing Sleeping Dogs. I saw an ad today. What's that one game that's coming out? Mind's Eye, and it's like
Mind's
Eye. Yeah, just one, just like you. But it's like what you should play while waiting for GTA 6, and I'm like, isn't this the game that's made by former ex-devs of GTA? I'm like, so why would I want to play that when I can play GTA? But instead of playing Mind's Eye, I'd say play Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs, it's kind of funny. It started its life as Lucy Liu was supposed to be the undercover cop.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if it was actually called True Crime at that time, but then I know Activision got it, and then they changed it to it was going to be called True Crime Hong Kong. And I have no idea what happened, but they decided they didn't want it. And I was like, if it's just that they can't exploit it, that they can't put out yearly updates for it or whatever the case may be. But then they gave it to whoever the developer is that had it. And then they changed. All they really had to do was just change it to Sleeping Dogs. And then they finished the development on it, which I think they took Activision's notes and just said, let's go.
I was going to say, did I dream this or didn't Square Enix get it?
Yeah, it was Square Enix.
Yeah, so
Square Enix, which seems to be disappointed with their sales all the time, no matter how good they are.
What the fuck kind of dreams are you having?
Oh, you would. Oh, Anyway,
We'd like to go into Koimia's head, but I'm pretty sure we'd all get scarred.
No.
so Death, though, you think I should get that shirt?
Yes, for sure.
The-
Old man.
no, it's old man. Did you see? I sent you the link. They have the fairy poster as well.
Yes, I did.
I'm like, I might need to get that too.
But yeah, Mike says, sorry, I'm at the end of Assassin's Creed Origins while watching. Assassin's Creed Origin has an amazing ending. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
I'll tell you right now, I've only seen the ending to one Assassin's Creed game. And that was Black Flag. Black Flag. I've never completed another Assassin's Creed game.
I've only not completed one, and that was Odyssey, and that was because the leveling up system was too hard.
Yeah, you said that. Actually, I had to cut my Assassin's Creed so I could add the Midnight Walk. I got to figure out where I can slot it back in because I want to continue doing that.
Yeah, I still got to play that more too. The new Assassin's Creed.
Right.
Shadows. Yeah. I have to play that
liking
again.
it. I finally got.
Did you check out Fragpunk?
Which one?
Fragpunk?
No.
Did I tell you to check that one out or no?
You did, but I didn't.
Okay. I'm looking for people because you can form like clans in it. So I'm looking for people now that I've hit the level to unlock it.
Okay.
So I think it would just be fun if like I had people to play with that wouldn't care if I fucking suck. You know? Because I do suck.
Get out of here.
And so
I think sucking at a game actually makes it more fun because that's when you can just sit there and like rip on each other and rip on yourself.
And that's why I think we need to get together and play Fragpunk.
I mean, if we could somehow get it so that we're all on, like, use this as our, like, all together and then have the stage playing the game. I don't know who would host the game.
I don't know how you could do a game on here.
You got to be able to add a, let's see.
There's definitely a way to do it. Charlie said there was a way to how to do it, but I have no idea how.
Yeah,
because that would be.
You can go extra camera, and I can bring up my Elgato as the camera,
and then we all play Fragpunk.
Yeah, but you'd only see it from one person's point of view.
Yeah,
maybe that could be interesting. That'd be something we could do different on a show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Mike came back. He said Odyssey was the best story, but the leveling was a major money grab. I spent probably $200 on content to make it easier, so I could beat it in under 400 hours. Yeah, I got to like the last 4 bosses that you had to level up for, and it was like I was like still 12 levels under what I should have been.
Cyclops. I got Cyclops. You used to play, or I don't know, maybe you still do, but Rocket League.
Mm-hmm. I still do every so often.
So I was looking at my buddy's trophies today, and I saw he had the platinum trophy for it. And then I saw the because on PS5 it shows the amount of time you've played a game.
Right.
He's almost at 800 hours for Rocket League.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
No, I think for Odyssey I used the save editor and just cheated and made myself super buff.
Save wizard.
Like the beginning of the game, they're like, "Yeah, come on, let's go."
Mm-hmm. So you cheated.
I mean, I like sometimes doing that, just getting in a game and being godlike and just running through it and playing it how I want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then speaking of godlike, I don't know if you guys saw what Nintendo was doing.
Playing God.
Yeah, they always try to do. Yeah, so yeah, Nintendo clarifies how and why the Switch 2 could collect, monitor, and record your game chats. So yeah, basically, this article goes on for a little bit here, but basically it says Nintendo recently updated its privacy policy to confirm that the company may collect, monitor, and record audio and video of users chat sessions for the Switch 2's new game chat feature. Despite this being a common practice, it spooked some fans, and now Nintendo has offered clarification. Saying a spokesperson for Nintendo told GameSpot that Nintendo may review recordings of audio and video chats from game chat, but only in a situation where the conversation has been reported.
But why? Why is that stuff even being recorded?
I think it's more for safety. Like if somebody says I'm going to hurt someone or that kind of stuff, or if they're starting to do illegal
you get
things,
on Call of Duty and you have people getting on there, going off, saying N-word, this, F that, all the expletives you can think of, and nothing happens to them. Like,
as much as I hate to say it, I think those are actually covered under free speech. So they leave those alone. But when people sit here and say, "Hey, I'll sell you this, illegal substance, meet me here, here, let's do this," that's where I think that they're trying to go. Or, hey, let's go hurt this. Let's go hurt this group of people.
People are trying to do drug deals through the Switch 2, is what you're trying to say.
That's I'm just using that as an example, but yeah, you never know. I mean,
okay, then.
I'd like to see that, actually.
Switch 2 is not for playing video games. It's for drug deals.
Yeah, I like this actually goes on saying Microsoft previously disclosed that it collects similar data, claiming that it stores this securely. PlayStation party sessions and voice chat are also recorded to some extent for safety and security. In 2014, it came to light from the Edward Snowden leaks that a British intelligence agency identified the Xbox's Kinect camera as a potential surveillance tool. But there is no evidence that any spying was ever done this way. Just because they don't do it doesn't mean they can't.
Right. You can also use the Kinect thing as a ghost hunting tool, because I know we did it a few times when I was into that. Mm-hmm. And it would pick up like stick figures out of, like, there's nothing there, and you would see like a figure moving around.
Well, maybe you had a ghost, or maybe it was just like the light of a car going by. Yeah.
I mean, I'm always skeptical on those things, but it was another tool for us to use.
See, that's what I like about ghost hunting too. It's like, I really want to go into ghost hunting, but it's like, would I be able, I truly believe in the paranormal, but would I be able to say like, yeah, that's definitely paranormal? Or would I be sitting there going like, dude.
I mean, it's all in the group you're with, because I would go with people and they would definitively say, "Oh, we had this happen," and then I'm like, there was only like 2 things that I ever had happen to me that I was like, yeah, that was fucking something, because I can't fucking explain it.
My wife and I had something when we were living in Wisconsin. We had just had a spat, like husbands and wives do. We're all married. We know what that's like. And I don't even remember what it was about, but I was
that's how we lost the eye, kids.
Yes. There's another episode where we explain that. But we had just had like a spat, and I don't remember what it was about. But after that, we were just done. And she was standing by a wire rack that we had in the kitchen, and she was standing pretty far away from it, like 3 or 4 feet. And she just looked at the wire rack, and all of a sudden the peanut butter that we had sitting there flew that 3 or 4 feet, like right into her chest. And we were like, wait, what the hell? Like, I'm not even kidding when I say this. It came off, and like it had force behind it. So I was sitting there and I was like, huh?
Maybe she wanted some peanut butter. She's like, damn, that looks good.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say she made it fly at you.
No, she was standing there. Her hands were like this. She was like by the door. She had like
turned into Carrie and threw it at you.
But no, like she was standing by it. She was 3 or 4 feet away from it. Her hand was like up on the wall and she's just kind of balancing. And the other hand was down by her side. And I was 4 feet away from it, and it just came in. And I was like, wait a second. So wait, did the wind hit it? And I was like, no, because the door's open, but that's on the other side of the room. Right. Did you knock it down? It's like her hands are over here. And that came right at her. So there was force behind it. And we've never been able to figure that out since. Very cool. So we're just like, I just kind of joke with her. I'm like, so whatever we were having a spat about, the ghost agreed with me. So shut up.
I win.
Did I tell you the weird one I had happened to me the one time?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is when I was living in Illinois, down in Algonquin, and I was like right down the street from me was a cemetery, and after looking around into it, it was actually like one of the top 20 most haunted cemeteries in Illinois. And one night, this girl I was dating at the time, her and I went to the cemetery because she, for whatever reason, wanted to go to the cemetery. And
really,
what the weird thing was we were just kind of sitting there, and all of a sudden she just like takes off running, and I'm like chasing after her, and it was like almost watching, how like when a dog gets a scent of something and it's like zigzagging and it'll go one way and then it'll stop and go another way and then it'll go another way. That's what she was doing. Like she was following something. And so then she finally stops at like in front of this grave and I stop in front of it and I'm like, do you know these people? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, why are we at this tombstone? And she's like, touch it. And I'm like, why should I touch it? And she's like, just touch it. So I was like, okay. So, just to humor her. So I reach out and touch it. Now, this is a marble, grave. Mm-hmm. And I swear to God, I touched that thing and I got a shock so fucking hard that I jumped back. And she's like, we're not alone. And I said, what do you mean we're not alone? She's like, we're being watched over there. There's a guy. And so I look over at this mausoleum that she was pointing at, and I could see a silhouette of somebody. And she's like, we got to get out of here. And I'm like, yeah. And so she took off running back to the car, and I went, running after her. So the next day after I got off work, as I was driving past the cemetery back to my apartment at the time, I'm like, you know what? I want to see if I can find this fucking tombstone. I could never find it. Never found it. Never found the mausoleum. I have no idea where we went, but yeah,
it was fucking weird. Stepped into an alternate dimension.
Something, I don't know, but it was fucking weird. And to have a marble gravestone give me a shock that was forcible enough to make me jump back.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that I had that kind of reminds me of maybe going into an alternate universe was I was at my grandma's one time. We had a family get together at my grandparents' place. And I remember I went to walk outside and I saw my grandma sitting with like a bunch of the guys that were sitting there, like my grandpa, a bunch of my uncles and everything. She was sitting outside with all of them and having a great time. And then I walked inside and I saw her standing right there with all of the women, like my mom, my sister, a bunch of my cousins, my female cousins. And I was like, wait a second. She was just there. And I was like, maybe she moved. And then as I went back out the front door, I looked out and I saw her sitting right by all my uncles and everything. And I was like, what the and I go back inside and she's there. And I actually see her get up from where she's sitting outside with my uncles and go into the kitchen or into the door that was right by the kitchen there. And as I go there, I was like, Grandma, what are you doing? And of course, I'm this 8-year-old kid. And she's like, what are you talking about? My mom, nobody ever believed me that this happened until like several years later. And people have been like, oh yeah, I've seen Grandma in a couple different places. And I'm like, so either she's magic or something's happening here.
Right.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And there's a few times that my mom's been like, yeah, I could have sworn that I saw her in 2 different places. And I'm like, yeah, something's around her. Of course, she passed away in 2021 now, but
or is she somewhere else?
Yeah, or is she somewhere else? That's what kind of like freaks me out. Because then a little while after she passed away, I got a phone call from one of our clients, and my grandparents' name, they were Robert and Arlene. And when I got a phone call from somebody, they were like, "Hi, my name is Arlene. My husband Robert and I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!" It was like shortly after she passed away too. But yeah, I was actually there's a podcast that I listen to called Weird Darkness, and I was gonna actually send that into the host there and see if he'd read it on the air.
Nice. Yeah, the only one I had, or the one of the ones that I had, I forget where we were. I think we were in Indiana or something at a like old orphanage or I can't remember what they call them back in the old like 20s. They would send people like, you know, people with defects and whatnot. They would send them to these farms, and you know they didn't have the greatest living situations. But we were up in the upstairs in one of the bedrooms exploring, and we walked into the room, and I all of a sudden saw like a ball of light right here, and turned, and then it like disappeared. I'm like, what the fuck? And we were learning like, you know, headlamps, and there was like a dresser with a mirror on it. So I'm like over on the mirror trying to like reflect the light on that to bounce it back, and I could not do it to recreate it. So I have a feeling that somebody was there with us while we were doing that. And then I think that same place we had a kind of sentient conversation with like somebody in the room where they were replying back by turning on a flashlight.
Maybe we should do another podcast all about like paranormal stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd be down. I still have some of my equipment. I bought all our equipment. This is like before COVID. Literally, we were on a trip when COVID hit. We were at dinner starting to talk about that. Then we drove home, and like the next day, COVID became a huge thing in the United States, and we shut down, and we just never picked up again on doing anything. But yeah, I had cameras that I had bought and whatnot to try and do that, but
so where I live, actually in the apartment complex just right next door, there was a really horrific murder that happened here, I guess a few years before we moved in. And it's not our building. It's not even on our property, but it's literally there's a fence and then there's another complex over there. And kitty corner from us, there was like the most horrific murder that this town had ever seen. And I now see that there's people that have moved in and out of there over the last 3 or 4 years. And I am always wondering, like, okay, are they being chased out of there or are they moving out of their own accord? So it's like with the people that live there now, I've got a few like recorders and stuff, and I just want to go over there and be like, "Excuse me, can I investigate your house real quick?" just to see if I can get anything. But
I'm guessing they have to disclose that, right? That there was a murder there.
I'm not sure. I know it was all over the news.
Yeah.
I know they have to if you buy the place, but
if you buy it. But I don't know if you're renting it. Like, do they have to disclose that or not? That's a question.
I know they have to if you're buying, but that's yeah. But we've actually made this a scary show now.
Yeah. It's not even October. All right. All right, let's get it back on the rails. Nintendo, what was the next one on Nintendo that they're trying? They said that if you pirate software, they will brick your system.
Yeah, I think I have that one up here. Okay, that's the potential tariff impact. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'll get the other one. But yeah, they will brick your system if you. Nothing to see here, folks. You know, we're a professional bunch. We're professional with a question mark at the end.
I was trying to segue us way back into Nintendo. That's the only one I could think of.
Yeah, that's what I say. We're professional question mark. You know. I will find this.
This guy sucks.
Oh, shut up. I was the only one pulling things out of here. Giggity. Yeah, I'll just do this. We'll go to Google and pull it up.
Phrasing.
Obviously.
Yay, you finally got to use that one.
Right?
Okay, yeah, here we go. Nintendo reserves the right to brick your console. I always want to say break your console, but it's brick your console. There we go. Yeah, they your console following unauthorized use in a bid to prevent piracy. Nintendo, they were confirms no recording is sent until a report is submitted. So that's kind of like what we were talking about there. But yeah, they will actually brick the entire console. Basically, just don't do illegal stuff and don't be a dick.
Oh, it is part of the other thing I see now. I thought like they were just trying to crack down more on the. I mean, it is part of the piracy, but if it's just report, who the hell? Like someone would have to be a real dick to report that, right?
Yeah, Nintendo has confirmed that it will only review video and audio recording as part of the user report system. All recording is otherwise privately stored on the device, and no recording is sent to Nintendo until a report is submitted. Nintendo said in a statement to GameFile.
Okay.
And Nintendo,
Not what I was thinking. I was thinking like if you're starting to pirate games somehow, or if you get into their UI and change something, that they will just brick your system and you can't use it anymore.
No, this is all part of them just trying to control
the
things.
Same thing. Yep. I mean, they will probably do that too. I mean, I wouldn't put past them.
It's not that way yet.
Yeah. Great. I just gave them the idea. Yay.
So if this starts happening, send your angry letters to.
Join me on Twitch, NeoDeath. We can talk about it.
You can blame him all you want, but just make sure that you like and share and comment and subscribe
and follow and all the things.
But yeah, the Nintendo president was also concerned about the potential impact on the U.S. tariffs on the Switch 2 demand, saying if prices of daily necessities like food increase, then people will have less money to spend on consoles. I mean, that just makes sense, but still.
Yes.
Yeah, these tariffs are going to screw a lot of people over.
I mean, every which way. Nobody thinks about that, but we're making money off them. No, we're not. Mm-hmm. You're making money off of us, the consumer.
But yeah, it says as of June 5th, the launch date approaches. Demand for the Switch 2 continues to boom, with Nintendo's official pre-order lotteries being massively oversubscribed, especially in Japan. Nintendo is working to strengthen their production to meet demand, and are forecasting Switch 2 hardware sales of 15 million units and software sales of 45 million units worldwide in the 2026 fiscal year. Not only that, the Japanese game giant is also hoping that the Nintendo Switch 2 will affect the Nintendo Switch 2 launch effect will boost it overall sales, which is fiscal year of 2026, by 63.1% to 1.9 trillion yen, which is approximately 13.4 billion US dollars, and final profits by 7.6% to 300 billion yen, which is approximately 2.5 or 2.05 billion.
I mean,
I'm in the wrong industry.
Right. Again, they could eat the tariff costs and just bring the game down or the system down in price to get it out there to more people. Mm-hmm. But they want to make obviously as much money as you can. So
they want to lose as much or lose as least amount that they can, right, but then make it up in the software.
Right. And that's usually how it works. So I would just bite the bullet on the tariffs and just bring it back down. I mean, there's already a like craving for it, that would just drive it even more, I would think.
Yeah, trade wars never work.
No, it never has, but everybody seems to think, oh, let's try it this time. It'll work. Yeah, no. Learn.
And then when it crashes and burns, you know.
Right. You got Mike coming in here.
Nintendo is the number one asshole to gaming and developing. They refuse to work with others to make their content better. Well, I mean, do they really need to work to make their content better?
I mean, I guess not. I would disagree with that on some points, because now they have been working with the PlayStation and Xbox a lot. Almost
Especially
so
Xbox.
much, I thought they were going to just join in together. But they haven't just yet. But they've done a lot of collaborations and ports of both ways.
So yeah, we got more to talk about that later. But yeah, I know with Xbox pretty much becoming a software company, I'd be surprised if the video game division isn't bought by Nintendo or even PlayStation at this point.
Oh, wouldn't that be fucking weird?
Well, I mean, you've got Mario and Sonic and Sega. They used to be bitter rivals.
Right. Yeah, I know.
So it's happened.
Always weird.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Koimiya?
What's that?
So with the tariffs coming on, basically the leaders of Nintendo are concerned that that people aren't going to have enough money to buy consoles and video games because they barely have enough money to buy food and shelter.
Okay.
So really, what do you think that they should do on that? Should they really? They're already going to be selling the consoles at a loss. Should they maybe lower the price of the consoles to get it to more people, and then make it that they have more money to spend on games, or what do you think?
Hell if I know. You know, I mean, at what point is it the consumer's responsibility to go, okay, I can't afford this right now. I need to, you know, provide for my family. You know, it's not Nintendo's job to go, okay, we're going to lower this and lower this and lower this so you can buy it. You know, I don't know. I'm of two frames of mind.
These tariffs are going to screw everyone over every which way. Mike came in here and he said he just finished Assassin's Creed Origins. I spend the whole game building my character for my playstyle. And I have to take a huge disadvantage, use Aya and not getting the ability to develop her. I'm pissed, but made it. On easy was insane. Apparently you need to go quiet. So. All right, and then, so Nintendo actually was saying that they aren't ruling out the price of a Switch 2. We're talking about maybe decreasing the price, but they're not opposed to increasing the price because of these tariffs. Which I'm like, okay, you're just talking about how you're scared that the tariffs are going to make it that people can't afford it. Let's raise the price. Yeah, Nintendo isn't ruling out the Switch 2 price rise depending on those pesky tariffs. As it predicts, the new hardware will outdo the uber popular OG Switch's launch sales. If the assumptions regarding the tariffs change significantly, we would like to consider what price adjustments we should make.
None.
At this point, don't make any.
Yeah. And to what Koimiya was saying about being responsible, people are never going to be responsible with their money. Like they're always going to go,
so why
this? But if
why
you
should
can get
Nintendo
more people to have the system that benefits them in the long run?
Benefits who? Them or Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Right. But they aren't going to sit there and lower a price.
They're not going to give it away for free, right? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like,
buy one, get one free.
Wouldn't that be some shit?
Oh, imagine if they did that for consoles. Do you have any idea what kind of war
you already can't get them? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else to say on those before we move forward? No?
Nope, that's really all my take on it.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do. I'm still hoping I can get one day one. I think my options are either, I think they just released, Nintendo of America finally released their pre-sales. I haven't seen anything from that. And then my other option is I might just day one try and go to my Costco
Yeah.
and pick up one of their bundles. Just take the day off and go sit in line at like 3 a.m. like the good old days.
I like how you're saying that with a mask on so your boss can't tell it's you. Saying that.
I won't be there that day.
Who is this guy?
Oh yeah, you put the mask on or the glasses on and they can't figure out who he is.
Check it out. This is Superman. Clark Kent. Superman. Clark Kent.
Right.
I always wondered how that was a thing. But yeah, Mike said here, I love Assassin's Creed, but absolutely hate when they force you to play as a different character, either a different person or the Animus driver.
Yeah, I hope the Shadows doesn't do that because I just got the other guy and he's more combat focused. And I'm like, I kind of like sneaking around, like killing everybody in the shadows.
And then he came back and said, just remember that Trump is a short sell billionaire. Even if he isn't a billionaire, it's the tactics. I could predict that. I could predict what was going to happen. He's an idiot and spooning how to get rich to the morons.
Right. Just
Yeah,
pick yourself up from the bootstraps and you'll become a billionaire. Yeah, he didn't do that. He was given his money.
Yeah, he dodged the draft. He didn't put on any boots.
He inherited it all. So, and then everything he's touched is just crumbled. So
that's why we call him Agent.
Say?
That's why we call him Agent Orange. I mean, everything he touches dies. Marriages, relationships, the country. Every single business he tried. How do you bankrupt a casino? I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought the whole point of a casino was money.
One. But anyways, let's get off our political high horse here.
We're going to make this a political show, a paranormal show, everything but a game show.
Yeah. I mean, we're everything all rolled into one, but I mean, it is affecting... What he's doing is affecting everybody and video games industry as a whole. I mean, they paused the whole Switch 2 pre-release because of the fucking tariffs. So, and then up the prices on a lot of the accessories to compensate.
That's whatever you were talking about for you.
I had to do it. I'm just thinking like everybody's going to eventually start watching the show and be like, what are they talking about? But nope, the best way I can think to segue into this one is so yeah, EA was saying that it hasn't always understood what Battlefield players want. But the response to a new entry has far exceeded our expectations after thousands of hours of playtests. We just want a good game that doesn't feel like a Call of Duty ripoff, that doesn't also feel like, what the fuck,
I mean, aren't they all just kind of lumped in together like that? Call of Duty, Battlefront, and the old like Medal of Honor, like they were all just kind of the same. I know Medal of Honor was more kind of story driven than multiplayer.
Yeah, Medal of Honor was fantastic.
Medal of Honor is what Call of Duty spawned from, wasn't it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it was after I want to say it was after the movie Saving Private Ryan. Spielberg actually got involved with the gaming industry and they came up with Medal of Honor, and then Medal of Honor's like kind of evolved into Call of Duty, which evolved into what it is now, which for better or for worse, is still one of the most successful and profitable gaming franchises in history.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm really excited here because, I mean, they said here that we work closely with the community. So it's like, hopefully they're going to take we don't just want battle royale. We don't just want, one good thing. We want a good package, That's kind of why I'm glad that they don't do yearly releases like Call of Duty, because when these come out, they at least have the potential of being at least a little different than what you gave us last year. And
I'm mesmerized by the video of the midnight walk there.
I was just saying, like, wait, Brian's probably excited here.
Here's the thing. How are we going to let Cyclops say they want a bigger package?
Phrasing.
Obviously.
And just let that slide? Seriously? No.
See, that's why it's great that we have 3 guys with dirty minds on here. That way we can all jump in. I don't have a dirty mind. I don't know about you guys. I was always... I'm not part of a dirty page on Facebook that makes a lot of those kinds of jokes.
Right.
None of us are.
Not a single one of us are. God, you know what? And I did like one of those things where it said, add a point for everything you did. And I was like, how did I become the most moral one here? And my score was actually still really high. But yeah, so
you got Mike that came back in here with tariffs.
Oh, all right, go ahead. The tariffs. Watch before and after. It's easy. He's a quick buck guy. Do I need to go on? No, we all get it. I think even his supporters get it.
I mean, he's lost quite a few of them because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he also said, I still have my Medal of Honor PS2 games. I still have mine too, somewhere in storage.
Those are great games.
Yeah, they were really good. I love the story in those ones.
That's
and that's what it was. It was just story-based first-person shooter. And it was just a blast. And a lot of them, based in World War II, and then they eventually went World War One, and then they ran out of world wars.
Then they had to start making their own.
Right. And I think that's where kind of the Call of Duty thing might have came in.
So, yeah, it's, I'd really like to actually see the Medal of Honor games come back. A lot of times people put on there, like, what games would you like to see remade, remastered, come back in 2025, 2026? Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
I always put on there, like, the Suffering, the Punisher. I'd like to see those come back, and I definitely would. Road Rash.
Oh, Road Rash. That was a fun game.
Burnout. I'd love to see those, but it's like, give me Medal of Honor. And get Spielberg involved in some way, because obviously that worked. So Medal of Honor, Battlefield, Bad Company 3, Battlefield 3. That was my jam. I gotta ask, did you ever play that Battlefield Hardline? That wasn't really a war setting. That was more of like a cops and robbers kind of game.
Yep.
That one I actually had fun with. A lot of people ripped on it. I liked it.
I believe it was a Plus game for a while.
Was it?
Yeah.
Might be in my catalog. Who knows?
It's more cops and robbers, but I really did enjoy that. And then yeah, of course, EA. Nobody bought this. I think we all gave a collective ha ha when they mentioned this year. If I can get it to pull up here. Yeah, EA is not planning to raise prices on games like Nintendo and Xbox yet.
Till they see everybody else do it and people not bring out the pitchforks, and then they'll be like, oh, can we come out here now and play? All right, give us your money.
Yeah, they're the ones that got all the loot boxes and wanted to charge all this extra money for games. During a recent Electronic Arts earnings call, CEO Andrew Wilson was asked if the Madden and Apex Legends publisher was planning to raise game prices following the recent announcements from the likes of Xbox. And for now, at least, that doesn't seem to be the plan. I like how we say for now, at least,
Right.
Because it's going to happen.
Oh, they do.
People were talking about like selling games for $100, and I'm thinking Grand Theft Auto is the only one that really could try something like that. And I'm thinking if they did and it worked out for them, watch, EA would be like the first one to try it right after that.
Jump on board with whatever they're peddling.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, here's the new Madden game, $100." Like, dude, you did it wrong.
Oh, and it couldn't be a Madden game. It would have to be a top tier game. Like, no way would it be Madden.
A top tier game from EA.
Yeah.
What do they do besides sports games?
I mean,
No,
they publish quite a bit. They don't actually do them themselves.
do you think that they could probably get away with that with a Battlefield game? It is a respected franchise, but it's had a lot of stumbles over the last
They
recent
did Dragon
years.
Age, didn't they?
That wasn't
on EA?
100. Yeah, but that wasn't 100. Would they try that on a game like that?
Oh, I could see it. I could totally see it.
Like it's like close. So, all right, yeah, that's really what I had to go off on those. I'm not. Oh wow, I did that wrong. Are you okay, Koimiya?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like you like had your head down like this for a while.
You got one from here, Mike.
Oh, EA gobbled up Kingdoms of Amalur and Re-Reckoning. A great game, but dead in their hands. And then he said, I believe EA took over Mass Effect. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they could try it with a franchise like that. But then again, with how bad Andromeda.
I mean, Mass Effect and Dragon Age are both BioWare, so I mean, EA pretty much has their hand in anything BioWare. So,
yeah, definitely. Just getting rid of that there. Pretty much, yeah. EA, I love how Joseph Ferris actually sits there and is like, did you see him at the Game Awards that one year going like, they get hit for all these loot boxes? I don't care about that shit. We have their coffee budget and they're very good to us.
No.
Oh, that was a few years ago. That's when he basically yelled "fuck the Oscars" on the Game Awards.
No, I didn't see that.
He was like, "I've been here for the Oscars," because it was like the same studio. He's like, "I've been here for the Oscars. I've been here for this." He's like, and he looked at Jeff. He's like, "Can we swear here?" And Jeff was like, "Yes, it's the internet. You can swear." He's like, "Fuck the Oscars. Fuck you!" Like looked like right at the camera. And ever since then, his name has lived in infamy for the Game Awards.
Huh.
Yeah, I've told people, like, with the podcast, I don't necessarily need to be the next Markiplier. I just want to be famous enough that Jeff Neely knows who we are and invites us to the Game Awards.
Oh,
and we get there for free, not having to pay for a ticket,
That'd be cool.
And accommodations, hotel accommodations are paid for.
I love how he keeps adding on that. And Disneyland tickets.
Right.
And
I feed my family for the week that I'm gone.
With free room service,
Open bar.
You know what Jeff's answer would be?
Bite my shiny metal ass.
You were looking for a reason to use that, weren't you? Now, a good story that we actually started talking about when this was a radio show way back in my Wisconsin days. Microsoft. For the love of God, I did not think this would drag on this long. Here, they finally got their key victory in Activision acquisition. I thought this was done.
So did I. I had no clue that it still was not fucking done.
The FTC filed an appeal, but apparently it's been denied and Microsoft is winning. Now they are free to buy Activision and put all their stuff on here. My question is, if they're winning this, then why, like this next story here, like Gears of War Reloaded comes to the Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. Why, if you're going to win all these things where Xbox wins and can make all these games, why are you putting all your games on other consoles?
Money.
Yep.
And I mean, they're like, oh, well, here, they're doing really well on PlayStation, tops the pre-order charts. But it's like, what's the point of a developer making a game for Xbox if they're just going to sell it to Nintendo and PlayStation?
Yeah, but isn't this a remaster? So they've already gotten the original money, and now this is...
Yes, it's a remaster.
Yeah,
it's a remaster of the first one, and I don't know everything about it.
I mean, I never played the Gears of War because they were on Xbox. I've never owned an Xbox, so being able to play it on the PS5 would be cool, and updated graphics and everything.
Yeah. I'm just really I'm confused. Why are you spending $75 billion, upwards of $100 billion, which is going to be, you cannot tell me there's not going to be people that lose their job over that, because, that always happens when companies merge and acquisitions.
I mean, they already did a lot of those things, like at Blizzard and Activision. They already cut a bunch of people, so that's why I thought this was done, because they had already done that and acquired them and merged.
I think nothing will change in that aspect, because all this is just a victory over the appeal.
Right.
Okay.
So, the initial pump and dump, for lack of better words, they pump the money in and then dump the half the staff, has already taken place. This is just basically the last nail in the coffin to say,
stop it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and the FTC's case against Microsoft was driven in part by FTC head Lena Khan. When President Trump took office in January of 2025, he installed Andrew N. Ferguson as the new FTC chair, with Microsoft's deal to buy Activision Blizzard already approved. It's unclear how the two companies could have been untangled had the appeal been successful. So basically, okay, so this is what you were saying here. It's already, everything is already a done deal. They were just going to try and say, nope. Basically, like, tell your kid to take his shoes off. He's not going outside because he's grounded.
Yeah, they were just trying to take the ball and go home. So,
yeah, the acquisition, Blizzard, for $75.4 billion was Microsoft's biggest ever acquisition by purchase price, and the biggest buyout of all time. So, okay, so yeah, it's already done. I just don't understand. Again, you're spending $75.4 billion, and then they bought Bethesda for what, $7 billion? You're spending billions and billions of dollars on all this, and then you're just saying, like, well, guess what? We're going to put them on PlayStation. And so the whole point of this whole thing was just basically that they get to put their name on it and get a bigger chunk of the pie.
Yep.
Yeah. That checks out.
As I say it like we don't understand, as I actually say it, it's like, wait, that does make financial sense.
You
but
just
come on.
answered your own question.
Yes,
Yay.
it's still bullcrap though, but at least in my opinion. I don't know. Any you guys got any other thoughts on these?
No, I'm good.
No. You got Mike that came back in.
Yep. By the way, finished AC Origins. Great story and better leveling up than Odyssey. But the end mission using a character you can't customize. Fuck them on that alone. I spend 100 hours defining my style and leveling, and it gives me some shit to figure out. That kind of reminds me of the South Park episode with Yelp. Remember that Gerald was writing like an amazing review for this restaurant that he went to, and then he's like, but parking was a nightmare, so only 2 stars. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Go buy World of Warcraft, install it on your computer, and join the online sensation before we all murder you.
No, but I just remember that was the thing, because all the restaurant owners got tired of the Yelp reviewers giving them bad reviews, so they started like jacking off in their food.
That's about right.
How does South Park get away with some of that with the FCC?
I mean, they're on a cable network, so you can do more than if it was like live broadcast.
You know what we need
that
to do?
was always the appeal of like cable is where you know HBO, you could swear, you could have these different type of comedy or comedians on there and whatnot. It's because it was that way.
Yeah.
Because we seem to bring up the FCC here sometimes. We need to get Family Guy going like with the freaking FCC. You know what's funny about that is actually that song is really catchy, and it turned out the people who work at the FCC liked the song, and it's like it's like that's telling your worst enemy that he's the worst person in the face of the earth, and he's like, I'm the worst person. And it's like, damn it, stop it.
Snoochie boochies.
I just wanted to use that.
Didn't even know we had that one.
Yeah, I added a few new ones here. I did that one, and
So say good night to the bad guy. Come on.
Nice.
I was thinking about making that our outro, but I was like, okay, do we do that one or the Animaniacs, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you could do a combination of both too, right?
Good night, everybody. So say good night to the bad guy.
Actually, I would do the bad guy one first, and then the good night, everybody.
Oh, okay. I can make that a thing.
Yeah, because he's sitting there literally saying, "Say good night, come on," and then good night, everybody. You know, like.
Maybe I should cut that then. So say good night. Good night.
Something like that. Yeah.
You could do that too. Yeah.
So, another big story that was going on this week. Did you guys see about the SAG-AFTRA strike that is still going on? I actually forgot about it, to be honest. But
this is a different one. This is against the video game industry, whereas the other one was against the movies. And they settled that one. And their big thing in the movies too was the AI stuff, right? Because they didn't want like scripts and stuff to be able to be put into AI and just spit out. So I believe that's kind of where they're trying to fall on this one. I did not get a chance to read their whole deal to see if they finally came to something.
I know Fran Dresser, who is the head of the SAG-AFTRA union. She said that the issues that they were facing in the video game industry mirror what they were facing in the film industry.
Right.
But their biggest thing was that, you know, if you get like Yuri Lowenthal, who does the voice of Spider-Man, like what if he gets in there and he actually strained his voice doing the voice of Venom Spider-Man. He actually blew out his vocal cords, and their concern is like, if that kind of thing happens, what's to stop the company from then saying, okay, yeah, go heal yourself, go take care of yourself, and then not paying his medical bills because he got technically hurt on the job. Right. And on top of that, not just taking his recorded lines and taking his voice and then just doing the rest of his lines the way they want it. And then not paying him. Yeah, I know Devin Sawa was saying that for the movie side anyway, he didn't know that the industry had the right to take like movie like clips that they had taken from other movies and put them in sequels without telling the actor that he's in there. And he said, I didn't even know that it was, I want to say it was the last Final Destination movie, not the one that's coming up, but the last one. He said that he didn't even know that his character was in the movie until he got an invite to the premiere. And then after that, they didn't even pay him anything. They just said, oh yeah, we already paid you when you did this movie 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's
so we're not going
to works. You're still using my likeness or my character that I portrayed. So
it's like you give him at least like 5,000, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so apparently they are, the SAG-AFTRA released the final offer. Of course, final offers are never final offers. We all know that.
They always say that. Yeah.
The final offer. The major video game companies involved in the negotiations with SAG-AFTRA, which represents voice and motion capture performers. That was another thing. It's like some of them were getting hurt doing those stunts for the motion capture. And then the companies weren't wanting to pay them, saying like, well, they signed this thing saying we didn't have to. Basically in the contract, if you get hurt doing this, we don't have to pay you.
No, that's not how that works.
And then they wouldn't. Yeah, they're like, we're working with your union. Your union should pay for it. It's like, no.
No, that's not how that works either.
Yeah, this is approaching its 300-day mark, so it's been damn near a year. Yeah, and the statement provided, let's see, SAG-AFTRA condemns the video game company's move to release the proposal for publication that says its negotiating committee responded to that offer within 72 hours on May 2nd with our own response to the open issues relating to artificial intelligence, and that we have to date received no response to our
Reading is
counteroffer.
hard. I know.
I know reading is hard, especially when you get into third grade words. You got syllables and
contractions and shit.
Contractions. Yeah, the actors went on strike July 1st of 2024, or I'm sorry, July 16th of 2024, and 18 months of negotiations at this point. The strike hinges on a single issue. SAG-AFTRA strong concerns regarding consent and compensation for use of AI replicas.
Right.
So it's basically the exact same thing, but I'm hoping...
I'm wondering, is this some of our delays in some of our games is because of this, or are they just not?
Definitely. I would imagine for sure.
Yeah.
I know Ned Luke, who played Michael in Grand Theft Auto 5. He was saying that everyone talks about how we waited 13 years, and he's like, really, you didn't. Physically, you did, but you didn't because you had COVID, which knocked out 2 years of development. You had writer strikes, which as of right now, but I'm like, yeah, but they were probably done with a lot of that before, Yeah,
but like rewrites or, polishes, another pass through, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm not going to read this whole thing here because it's quite a long ass statement.
Do it.
Really, we'll be here for like the next hour and a half, and I'll be stumbling over half the words, as you can tell here. Yeah, the Actors Union previously went on strike in 2016 as a union fought for a residual compensation structure. The strike ended nearly a year later. What is it with all these strikes lasting a year?
I mean, the companies don't want to come to the table and give up a lot of these things. So you have to hit them in their pocketbooks to get them to finally say, okay, come back. We need you now. All during that time, you can't be using any of those characters or those people. So you either have to scab out and get somebody else that will do it and cross that picket line. That's obviously not a union brother. And then you cause problems with that too.
Yeah. I know your company actually had some strikes. Did you guys have anybody cross that picket line?
They said we did. Like they were busing some people in, and we at the gate when they were doing that, we stopped them. But it turned out it was some sort of false information.
And it's not like them to give you false information to try and control the narrative.
Well, it was coming from the union side was saying that they were busing in scabs, and then it turned out that that's not what it was. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely different because that was the first strike I had ever been on, and it was definitely a situation like being on the line and having, stopping the parts and whatnot from coming through or orders or whatever. And then, I mean, it was cool because the one that we did stop, like we had a truck driver and he almost hit me because he was trying to plow through us, but we stopped him and we stood there and, kept circling so he couldn't get through. And I eventually talked to him and, explained what we were doing and whatnot. And he's like, oh, all right, cool. I'll go somewhere else. They're paying me by the hour or whatever. Have at it. And finally backed up and left. And, it felt good. And, to explain to him everything that was going on and whatnot.
So just for people that don't know, when you go on strike, like you guys did, or like even like the video game industry is doing, do at least in your part, do you guys get paid during the strike or no?
Yes, we have a strike fund. So when our everybody that's a union member has union dues at the beginning of the month, and for us it's 2.5 uh, out of our check each time. So if we get paid more, union gets paid a little bit more, yada yada. And the 5 out of that goes to our strike fund that gets built up from that, from everybody doing that. And then when we go on strike, that's the fund we pull from. So we still get to keep our medical, we still get to keep getting paid. Obviously, it's not our full pay. I think it was up to 500 a week for this strike we had. I mean, it's obviously not a lot, but it's something, and it keeps you out there. But yeah, that's how it gets funded is through our strike fund, and it's just constantly been being built up.
Yeah, I can see your industry going on strike. I don't see Koimiya's industry going on strike. Like, we refuse to sell gas. You know?
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
And yeah, it's for the people that don't know, I am in the car industry. I work for Stellantis Jeep. I make the Jeep Wrangler, and that's where the strike was. Ours was one of the big plants that they took out at first, just to hit them right in their pocketbooks, because it is the most popular car. So yeah, so we were out the whole time.
I'll see, they
But
can do
ours
that.
only lasted like month and a half, if that.
I remember you posting pictures of that with like you on the front cover with like your arm going way out.
That was like the day after we were told we were going on strike. There was a rally up in Michigan we went to, and it was actually the speaker for Stellantis, the guy that was trying to negotiate for us, actually came on and was saying all the shit the company was trying to do and whatnot. And yeah, just there happened to be a reporter that caught that picture. It's a really good picture.
There's a picture of you. It was like you became the face of the strike at that point. You know?
I mean, one of, and then yeah, I mean, you know, some people took the strike as, you know, time off, and you know, used it as that. Whereas, like, I still every day I went to the picket line, even if it wasn't my day. That's the other thing, is to get paid for the strike, you have times you have to show up, and so you participate.
Okay.
Luckily with us, we had so many people out, we only had to do it once a week. But I still showed up like every day. I would go to a friend's, if he was picketing, I'd go join their group, or I'd go to the hall and help out there, or whatever the case may be. So
yeah, I was always wondering if you got paid or if you absolutely had to be out there. Cause like, could you just take the time off and just be like, well, okay, yeah, they got the picket lines. I'm good.
Yeah, no, you have to show up to get paid, and to show that you're not like a scab, and you actually care.
Mhm.
That you're
All
helping us. So I mean, it was some fun times. Like the camaraderie that you have during those times is fantastic.
So yeah, our company has talked about like getting a union, but I don't know if it'll ever happen because technically we're employed by the state.
I will stop you right there. It is not getting a union. It is you. You are the union. It is you and your fellow coworkers that are your union. They're not going to bring in a union. You guys are going to form your union. You're going to get hopefully what you want.
We've looked at it, but we're just like, okay, how do we unionize a state? Like, because we're technically contracted out, you know? And I'm like, how do we unionize this when the company that we work for isn't even technically what we do, you know? And we're working for a contract. Do we unionize for the state, or do we unionize the company? What do we,
It depends on yeah, there's a lot to go into there. Yeah.
Let's go talk to Teamsters.
I mean, yeah, it depends on what your industry is on who you talk to, because there's a bunch of different unions, obviously, for different things. So, but yeah, I would definitely look into it. It does improve your workplace, and if you do decide to go down that road, because I did do a lot of organizing. The company will try and come back and try and tell you how bad the union is and how it's not going to be helpful, and you're going to make less money now and this and that, and they'll actually sit you down into meetings and tell you how bad this shit is. While you're working, they'll just stop work and bring you into these captive audience meetings and bring in union busters to tell you, spend tons of money to tell you how bad it is, when you could use that money to just have a union and work fairly and pay your workers what they deserve. It's so infuriating what the shit they do.
Well, at this point, it seems like a lot of people know that that's just union busting tactics. So it's like, yeah, let's go get paid to sit in this meeting and still vote against it anyway.
I mean,
still vote for the union.
As long as you can hold tight with your fellow brothers and sisters on it. Yeah, that's great. But they will tell all sorts of lies and whatnot in these meetings. So
doesn't surprise me at all.
Right.
As much as I wish it did.
But I mean, the people that don't know, they're sitting in this meeting going, oh my God, they're going to, take more money from me and this and that and all those stupid rhetoric that they always say. They say the same thing. Like, there's a book that you can read of exactly what they're going to say, but it does flip people. So,
all right. And I know Koimiya, you're going to have to get going here pretty soon. But yeah, we just had one more thing to talk about here. Again, with these tariffs, I did not think when I didn't elect him, but I did not think when America elected this guy that we'd be talking so much about him and these kinds of things on this show. I know we're a video game show, but look at the movie industry now. He's saying that the movie industry in America is dying, and he wants to implement 100% tariff on films produced outside of the U.S. Now, what I'm not understanding here is this like all movies that are filmed outside of the U.S. So, like, if they do a James Bond movie, which is technically a British film, that's a British production. So it's right. Like, are we going to freak out and start putting tariffs on them, even though it's a British production that does really well in America? Or is it just like American productions that are done outside of America? So like we're like in a case where like the movie Chicago was not filmed in Chicago. It's called Chicago. Right. It's based in Chicago. Not a single frame of that movie was done in Chicago. That actually went to Canada because it was cheaper for them to film up there.
Usually, it's usually Canada that gets filmed in, or Georgia is a big one here that they do a lot of filming in. Mm-hmm. But the other thing, if he starts doing this, then that will start affecting the overseas like revenue of when the movies release. I have a feeling like, because they usually do it like, U.S. sales and globally, and sometimes globally is where the movie finally, takes off. Mm-hmm. And, that's where they make all their money. And whereas domestically here, it didn't make anything. It didn't blow up like it did there. Mm-hmm. So, like, I mean, just like all the tariffs, it's going to fucking bite us in the ass in some way. Like, it doesn't do what he seems to think it does.
I'm wondering, is it like just anything that's filmed outside? Because think of like all these Marvel movies. There's a lot of those Marvel movies that take place in America, but how many times do they go globetrotting where they're like, oh, and then it affected the UK, it affected China, it affected, and then they show what it's doing, and then they're like Iron Man, like, or not anymore, but one of the superheroes like suits up, goes to wherever, it goes to Germany, and he's like, last time I was in Germany there was a dictator. It's like he's obviously making a reference, but it's like, So are we just saying that any kind of production you do outside that's an American production being done, or is it literally any movie that's gonna
What
come?
was the one that Cormia posted to us about the Mattel and yeah, I'll let you find it. The one where he said that he was gonna, was it? I'm pretty sure it was him in our chat group. Bring that one up.
Oh, okay. He had a dip. I didn't see that he left.
Yeah, he had to leave.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up. He had the chat group going here. Of course, it always wants me to put in this stupid code, you know, to get back into my chat.
I hate that. I can't even get the chat to work on my Windows system anymore. It just will not update right.
Yeah, he just put this up recently. Was it like the last day or so? Oh, I found it. Okay, here it is.
Got it.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. Trump, Mattel, they're the only country I've heard saying they're going to go someplace else. That's okay. Let's let them go, and we'll put a 100% tariff on his toys. He won't sell one toy in the U.S. Like, yes, I hear the country of Mattel is beautiful this time of year. No, like, this is from the Barbie movie here.
Right. You can't make this shit up on how dumb he is and this whole tariff thing. Like,
it's truly amazing.
This is the world we live in.
But yeah, and he was like in a move that sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Trump deemed foreign productions a national security threat, because that makes sense, I guess.
I mean, he also is the one that started this whole TikTok thing. He's the one that said it was a national security threat back in his original presidency.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're trying to get rid of it. And then he comes back in and saves it like he's the fucking hero when he caused the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he caused the problem, and then he just deferred China's thing. It's like they could still go out in June. People don't realize that. They can still go out in June, and right now he's pissing off China. So it's like they might.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they might just say, fuck it, we're not dealing with you anymore.
Well, I love it. Then he said, oh, yeah, we've been in a lot of talks with China. And China's like, what talks have you been to?
Like, it's probably been the ones where he's sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he says the movie industry is dying here. And it's like, no, it's really not. Well, I mean, less and less people are going to the movies. Let's just be honest with that.
Right.
Less and less people are going to the movies, but it's not because they're taking productions elsewhere. It's because there's now streaming services.
Streaming service prices, like tickets just constantly keep going up. And yeah, if you can just watch it at home in the, a month or two after it comes out, and then you can, pause it if you need to go to the restroom, or, get multiple watches out of the purchase price. That's more what people want to do, I feel.
Definitely. And I just don't, because I don't know about you. When I used to go to the movie theater, I had to get a soda, I had to get popcorn, and I had to get some sort of candy, because it was like, this was my time going out. Yeah. Now I'm lucky. We usually get like maybe a drink, and my wife and I split it. And then we'll get a slushie. And I'm like, if we get anything, it's like those pretzel bites or nachos, and we split it. We don't get our own stuff. It's not. It's not really the experience it used to be.
Yeah, and then the main experience that I want to go for is like usually like opening day releases of big movies, like any of the Marvel movies. Usually, it's a huge crowd if you go on release day, and a superhero shows up on the screen. Everybody's cheering and clapping, and the whole place erupts, and you're just like, fuck yeah, this is my crowd. This is what I wanted to see with my people and enjoy it. And they get all the, the Easter eggs or the little jokes or whatever the case may be. Like, that's the feeling you get. I mean, every so often you'll get, a random movie. You're like, oh, all right, I'll go see that in theaters.
The last movie that happened with me was, what was that? I think it was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when...
That was fucking phenomenal in the theater, day one.
But there were so many... Yeah, and I think I saw it not day one, but I think I saw it opening weekend. And I remember when Charlie Cox showed up on the screen, our whole theater was like, Daredevil! Right. And then we didn't think anything of it. And then the next time everyone cheered was when Andrew Garfield just takes it. It's like, I'm Peter Parker. It's like, oh my God, he's actually in the theater.
Like, they did it. Oh my God. Yep.
Well, we saw him, and then the minute they showed the other Spider-Man, I was like, everyone was like, yeah, that's Toby. It's like almost like Toby got a little.
No, but still, everybody still cheered, at least in my theater. But yeah, that was a phenomenal experience in the theater that you could not reproduce at home. And yeah, the theater is just packed. Every fucking seat is taken. There's nowhere for anybody else to sit.
I think the next time we cheered was actually when Norman Willem Dafoe was like, I'm something of a scientist myself. The whole place busted up. And then I know every theater and everyone cried during this. When you saw MJ Zendaya falling, and you saw Andrew Garfield go towards her, I knew she was going to be fine. We all knew she was going to be fine, but Rachel and I grabbed onto each other's hands, and we had to squeeze tight, ow. We're like, oh God, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. And then he grabbed her, and then the whole theater just erupted. I'm not even kidding. This was not chicken jockey level of popcorn, but everyone stood up, and we were like, yeah. And then she's like, why are you crying? And he's like, and we're all like, we know, Andrew. We know.
He got his redemption. Yeah. I mean, that's the experience that you're usually going for the theater, not just, see the movie. But I mean, still people still go to the movies. The sales still say that people are going. It's still a form of entertainment. So
well, my thing is everyone says, oh, it's all prequels and sequels and reboots. There's nothing original. And I'm like, well, yeah, but when you put out something original, people don't go, I mean,
Sinners just came out. That was an original take.
Right. Don't get me wrong. There's the exceptions, but
I know, but so they are, but for the majority of it, it is remakes, remasters, or 20th anniversary. I know the new Star Wars Episode 3's back in release, and I'm like, okay.
But that's because that's what sells. I mean, you don't see a new IP really making $1 billion, at least not very often. It's always the Avengers,
right?
$1 billion. It's Avatar 2. $2 billion, the next Avenger. And even if you were to put a new Marvel movie that came out with that in, it's is that really original? Because it's just attached to these 25 other movies,
Right. We got a new chat in here.
Jay Farron, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Jay Fane, how's it going?
Thank you for coming. Appreciate you joining us.
Just in time for us to get ready to
say, but we're kind of wrapping this one up. But please follow, subscribe, depending on where you are seeing this. And you can get more of us in your ears on Spotify.
Because that's what you want, you dirty little... Sorry, we just tend to spiral out of control here sometimes. Sorry, not sorry. Love from Ireland. Wow.
Nice. We're reaching now.
Ireland, I've never been to Ireland, but I'd love to go and see if I can meet Mickey McFinnigan. Please tell me you understand that reference.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, remember Peter Griffin's dad? That came from Ireland. No, I've never been to Ireland though. I've heard it's beautiful, and I would really like to. I'd really like to go. Like my dream is to go to Ireland, Japan, and Australia. Okay, he understands the reference.
Yay!
So, but yeah,
And you're watching us on YouTube. We appreciate that. Different people watching us different places. We've got Facebook, YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're on Beam, Spotify. So we appreciate all of you and thank you.
Thank you very much. But yeah, I know Koimiya X had to take off here. He's got some family obligations. But was there anything else that you had to jump in before we end the show here?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, seems like that's it until later tonight when something else blows up.
Right. Let's go ahead and whoops, wrong one.
Hi.
When is your next stream?
Oh, next stream. So actually, I will be streaming on Monday. Monday night. About 9:30 p.m. my time. Where I will be continuing my stream of South of Midnight. It's a really great game. I love the Southern lore with that game. It's a game that I was really, really looking forward to for quite a long time, and I am happy to be playing it. Let me just say it is not disappointing at all. And then after that, I'm not sure if I'll jump into Oblivion or if I will jump into Indiana Jones, or if I'll do Assassin's Creed or something different. But yep, I will definitely be doing a lot of streaming here in the near future. But yep, Monday, South of Midnight.
And that's on Twitch?
That will be on Twitch and TikTok.
Twitch and TikTok. Okay.
Now, when's your next stream?
My next stream will be tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be streaming World of Warcraft. We will be raiding Undermine Heroic with my group and working on progression. We're on our progression boss right now. And then throughout the week, I have different streams on different days. I also play Magic the Gathering on Monday. Indiana Jones on Tuesday. Right now, I play my background Midnight Walk on Thursday or Wednesday, and then Rusty Robot is on Thursday, and then we just rinse repeat. So, and I am on Twitch. I'm also streaming this on YouTube. And then I also have TikTok, which I have not been able to go live yet.
Pretty soon. I know TikTok, you have to have, they say about 1,000 followers, but really I got it before that. And
I say the wife just finally, she only has 400 followers, and she was just now able to finally go live. Like they gave her a preview option, and now she can actually go live.
Yep.
So
she's
working on doing her thing too on there.
Yep. You just got to be really consistent, and then TikTok gives it to you early. So,
nice.
But yeah.
Koimiya, when he does stream, he goes through Beam and then also through Kick. Those are his socials that I know of. And if you want to know when he's going to, get on X and follow him on there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yep. Thanks for coming and hanging out. And we've got a lot of exciting changes, and we have some guests coming up here pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you next time.
Laters.
Good night, everybody.